Hello students, this lesson is all about how to master multiple choice tests. And the first thing I want to mention is know your material. Start on the very first day of the course and learn the material as well as you can. Of course, this works for any kind of test, any kind of assignment, or writing essays. If you know the information, if you know the material, you won't have much trouble with a test. However, in the rest of this lesson, I'm going to talk about some strategies, some tips, and even a few tricks that might help you if you've had difficulty with the material or if you've let it slide, but don't do that next time, and I'm going to remind you about that from time to time. Always know your material. Let's get on with some tips for multiple choice tests. Before I go any further, I should mention that there may be some repetition in this lesson because this lesson has been added long after the original course. It's specific to multiple choice tests because some students were asking for a little more help on multiple choice. Let's get started. Preview the test. How many questions are there and how much time do you have? And then use this information to pace yourself, to allow yourself enough time to complete all the questions and have a little time to review. Answer the easy questions first. This will give you a sense of confidence, and also you might find answers, or information at least, that will help you with other questions. Read each question carefully. Now, this is not in the preview. You're doing the test now. You want to read each question carefully, cover up or ignore the answer choices for now. Read the question slowly and methodically. Try to think of the correct answer before reading the options, and then check all options even if you do see your anticipated answer. Answering strategies. Eliminate answers that are obviously incorrect. There are usually, if there's 4 possible answers, there's usually 2 that are completely wrong and 2 that are close. So immediately eliminate those that are obviously incorrect. Focus on the answers you believe are possible. Choose the one that is the best answer. And sometimes more than one answer is technically correct, but not necessarily the best answer or the most complete answer. I know students who've said, well, but this answer has correct information. I remember reading about it. Well, yes, but it might not be the best answer to that specific question. And this is a reminder that you should read all the options, as I mentioned in the previous slide, even if you see your anticipated answer. That is a very good sign, but you still want to read them all and make sure that there isn't an even better answer in the choices. Watch for absolute words such as never, always, no person ever, etc. Responses that contain these words are less likely to be correct. They could be correct, but you need to be aware. For example, in the little picture there, cool kids never sleep. Well, that statement is not true. Cool kids have to sleep once in a while. If the response says all of the above, check to see if more than one of the choices is correct. If there are 2 correct options, then this is probably your best choice. But of course, remember, you have to make sure that one of those options isn't the best answer. If you're checking to see 2 correct, they must be equally correct. If the response says none of the above, it is usually not the correct choice. Still, look carefully to make sure. Remember, these are just strategies. They're not always absolute. Look for grammatical clues. Usually, the answer should fit grammatically with the question. For example, the best choice is an pineapple, apple, banana, plum. In this case, the key word is an, making the grammatically correct answer apple, because you must have a vowel after an. Look for verbal connections. An answer that repeats keywords that are in the stem has a better chance of being correct. Again, I'm giving you a warning. Know your material, because sometimes keywords are repeated, but that's still the wrong answer. It doesn't always work. Sometimes there are grammatical errors within a test, so that's not always going to clue you in. These are just some extra helpful tips. If you are unsure, in other words, these little tips are more about guessing than anything else. Usually the positive option is better than the negative one. Usually the longer, meaning more information answer, is better because the teacher provided necessary qualifying adjectives or phrases. Comical responses are usually wrong. Some feel that answers B and C are the best choices if you are guessing, because some teachers feel the correct response is better hidden between A and D. This, however, is more an act of desperation than knowing your material. So I'm referring you back to the beginning of this lesson, and next time make sure you know your material better and you won't have to rely too much on some of these, not even really strategies, more like tricks. One last point about mastering multiple choice quizzes or multiple choice tests: be sure to answer all of the questions. So if you have skipped over questions, to answer the easy ones first, make sure that you come back and answer all of the questions that you passed over. Also, if you're using an answering sheet, if you're having to fill it out on a separate card for a computer or a separate sheet, make sure that you've put the answers in the correct spot. Sometimes when you skip over, questions get marked in the wrong area. So you don't want to do that. It could throw the whole test off. So make sure that you go back. Make sure you turn the pages over, even the last page, flip it over, make sure there are no questions on the back. I've seen that happen, and students have just missed questions that they could have answered correctly. So just wanted to bring that up. And you can master multiple choice tests and quizzes. Remember, know the material, learn the material. That will really help you a lot. But some of these strategies can help in a pinch. This video, this lesson, is actually part of the Test and Exam Strategies course that I have on Udemy, and also part of the Study Skills Become an A+ Student course, which is an even larger course with even more information. So why not register for one or both of the following courses to get more information about how to be an excellent student? If you're watching on YouTube, I will put the links below. Also, you can check out the website, www.tutoringcentral.com, and go to the online courses. There should be links there as well. So this is Ron from LTL Tutoring Central, and I'll talk to you and see you next week.